Good morning and happy Wednesday. I wanted to say Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Anyway, so yesterday I broke my rules pretty early in the market open. I saw that what I thought was a setup on NQ and I took it. Got stopped out and then I took another trade. And during that trade I said if I lose I'm done for the day, but then I took another trade. So I thought again about quitting yesterday. I actually cried about my trading, whatever you want to call it, whatever's been going on with my trading. I sat down and I cried. And then I took a joint break. My husband was home for work from the day, so I had the opportunity. And after that joint hit me, it really helped me get my shit back together. I realized that I've come so far from where I was, and that even though I'm not seeing results, there are results if I'm kind to myself and if I look close enough. I notice I've been trading emotionally lately, and then yesterday Scarface put out a video where he talks about why 90% of traders fail, and it's due to emotions and fighting that feeling of safety when we lose. So it came at the perfect time for me. And he was talking about that when we lose, immediately we feel unsafe and we want to make that money back. And that's what creates revenge trading. That's also what creates us going outside of our plan, etc. So anyway, we don't have much session liquidity today. Session liquidity today. That's that news candle at 8. And then the CPI candle kind of blasted through our London, our Asia, etc. So really, we're just working with a data low. We're not in any higher time frame fair value gaps. There's actually no fair value gaps on the 4-hour. We do have one on the 1 hour that we tapped into last night on NQ, right here, and kind of weird. We closed below it.
Stop NQ sell.
However, we still went up. So yeah, we've got this one here that we've been testing for a while. Let's see what that looks like on the 1 hour. So yeah, it's just that 1 hour that we've had. So really, not a whole lot going on. Yeah, no higher time frame fair value gaps below us that we could potentially reach. Like we have this one here. Yeah, a little teeny one. So really what I've been looking for and what I'm waiting for is this 5-minute here to be inversed. Once we inverse the 5-minute and we retest it, then we could really take it down to that data low. We do have VWAP in between, but depending on how we come down, we'll change that. Also too, I do want to mention what we're seeing here on Bookmap. It actually just changed.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story. With a professional web.
Okay, it just changed, and I'm not seeing the change here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we had actually, this was 1,000 orders, 1,063, which is huge. Okay, 400 is massive, but that 1,000, it was definitely an algo. It was pulling price up. And then we printed an order here, so 1,000 here, another 400 here. And once we remove that order, then now we're starting to come down. So really, those Bookmap levels are magnet, and they pull us up. But when we have it as an algo, see, look at this high volume node here, then it's tougher to use it as a take profit. So we'll just see how it wants to move the market. We also, I'll see if I can show you guys. Aha! So we also too have these right here on NQ. So 45, 50, 60, huge orders, 400, 400, 400. And you can see that volume node, and you can see that that white line is near the end, which tells us that it's algos here moving price. So it doesn't want price to go higher for now, which is why this is printing. So we'll just see how that plays out at market open. So what are we going to do at market open? We're going to wait for our first 5 minutes. We're going to chart out our box. Our next 15 minutes, chart out our box and see how that goes. And as we come into liquidities, we sweep it. We'll look for a fair value gap to inverse on between the 1
and Q sell.
and 5 minute
Absorption
time.
and Q sellers.
So here we do have a big 5 minute. We also have a 1 minute here, but I think it's basically the same as that 5 minute. And if anything, we want the 5 minute to inverse because there's stronger conviction. So dream scenario, if we're talking about dream scenarios, which my good friend Dodgy does talk about a lot. What we'll see at market open is we'll come down, we'll close below this and VWAP, and then VWAP will retest us back into here, and then we'll come back down for that data wick. See, look, all these orders were just pushed up. So removed from here, pushed up to here. Algos. So about 3 minutes now until market open. I really don't like having these boxes on my chart. I find that it makes it pretty tough to see all my levels, but to the upside, I finally marked out our all-time high since we're getting close up there. And then this is just a swing high. Yeah, here on the 4-hour chart, which we touched into. Go back to that 5 minute. Pretty sure I marked out similar on NQ. No, that's my all-time high.
Stop and Q sell.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do have it there. Okay, yeah, so all-time high is 22,600, just below that. I entered just on my sim account a short here because I thought that if I'm waiting for the inverse, and I do believe it's going to inverse, then might as well just take it down just to see, just a test. As you can see, I was doing some trading last night during Asia session just for fun. I made $6. Actually, I had it pretty good in profit, but I didn't take my profit, so there you go, Samaya. So yeah, let's watch what happens at market open. Trading without a stop loss, actually, if we look at all of the professional traders, they don't put their stop loss where they want their stop loss to be because we can get wicked out. And I find that I do get wicked out a lot. And if you listen to Dodgy, if you listen to Scarface, if you listen to most people, they say that they're waiting for a close above or a close below their stop loss in order for it to be considered being stopped out. So we're going to work on that today. Actually, the idea of trading without a stop loss really scares me.
Iceberg and Q sell.
I like it when it comes down and hits my target and it goes bing and I'm like, woo! But if we want to be professional and we want to do what the professionals do, then we have to do what the professionals do. So maybe I'll regret saying this later. However, Okay, inverse
Sweep
me
and
daddy.
Q sellers. Absorption
minutes.
and Q buyers.
And if we don't inverse, then we are very bullish. Okay, so already at market open, big seller, big buyer, we can see a huge volume.
Absorption ES buyers.
So a little bit of heat below us. Immediately price wanted that 52 level. But we can see that we are holding SMT, so ES is going down while NQ is going up. So if we don't get this inverse here, if we don't trade it,
Stop
we can
ES
just
sell.
wait for one
Stop
of these
ES sell.
to be taken.
Stop NQ buy.
Yeah, we can see on Bookmap that NQ keeps trying to reach higher, but every time the green little bubbles come in, we get red bubbles.
Stop ES sell.
So that inverse on the 1 minute. It's literally the same fair value gap as the 5 minute.
Stop NQ sell. Stop NQ sell.
We do have to get past VWAP here, and we have to close past VWAP if we really want that high probability setup. So
Sweep
good job,
NQ
this trade's
buyers.
working out.
Absorption NQ sellers.
It's just on my practice account though. We still got another 3 minutes until that 5 minute closes. So here we can practice. We'll sell one. So that's another thing I've been struggling with too, is I can't set limit take profits on this like you can on Top Step. And when I was selling off contracts, then I was finding that I was doing it wrong, so I stopped doing it. But position sizing is very important to me. Okay, so now we're tapping into VWAP, which is giving us a bounce, which is fine. So let's see if we really want to inverse this. Doesn't look like we have a close below on the 1 minute. They're all the same, so. CS bounces at VWAP, then we're going to see NQ bounce at VWAP. But honestly, if we've been looking at our liquidity, we are so bullish. We take very little liquidity for us to make new highs. So I've been keeping that in mind. Generally, a pre-market low is enough to send us to new highs. So this would also be our, no, it would actually be at 8. So our pre-market low and our data. Actually, I've seen people that say pre-market is from 4 a.m. to 9. But when I Google it or ask ChatGPT, I'm told is from 8 until 9:30 or something. Okay, so now our algos are printing price here. Okay, that 5 minute did not close below. So we do have to wait for another 5 minutes. So let's scale down to the 1 minute now. Okay, we can mark out our 5 minute range. Okay, getting close to a close below on the 1 minute.
Stop NQ sell.
So yeah, okay, so algo's printing here, algo's printing here, so ES and NQ are moving pretty similar. Normally we only see algos printing on one side. Come on, take your time. I'll wait for the 5 minute close.
Absorption NQ buyers.
In fact, I'd prefer the 5 minute close. Let's just make this perfect. There we go. So yeah, generally what we see again is we come down, we make our 5 minute range, and then we start going the opposite way. It's basically something that you can count on happening every day. I've been
Iceberg
seeing
ES
it.
sell.
Oh, look at that.
Stop NQ sell.
533 at 46. It's printing just where price is. Okay, we took that with a big buy exhaustion volume. And after price was removed here, then we started moving up. So someone's really manipulating the market today.
Sweep ES buyers. Absorption ES sellers.
Let's take a look at our 5 minute. Not much. I don't know if this would be too messy of a play. We formed one fair value gap. One on NQ, a huge one on ES. But we haven't sweeped any liquidity. We could hold this trend line up, but we haven't swept any liquidity at market open. Our data wick is down here. I should mark that out. NQ doesn't really have a wick, but ES does.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
So we removed, we did it on NQ too. We've been removing our liquidity here.
Absorption ES buyers.
So what was once bringing us up is now lifted and taking us down. And as you can see, we're printing new liquidity here on our higher time frame book map at 75, which we can't see on this. Take a look at our other fair value gaps. 2 minute, 3 minute. Okay, let's see. Did we form that 5 minute? I think we did. Okay, so we got a 5 minute fair value gap here. But again, no liquidity taken. And generally when we see a big move or two big moves before market open, then it's just going to be a little slower. All our momentum already happened. All right, we're just going to wait for liquidity to be taken. Either that or for our fair value gap to be closed below. Come on, daddy, close below me. Yeah. And if we look already at price action, then our 5 and 15 minute ranges will be the same, basically.
Sweep ES buyers. Absorption ES sellers.
Which gives us good probability if we want to break out. Let's actually take a look at that first 15 minute candle so far. Pretty bullish. When I say bullish, I mean that we came all the way down and then we're really, all the buyers
Absorption ES buyers.
stepping in here. Let's see if we can break the low and I'll sell one more on NQ. Just good practice.
Absorption ES sellers. Absorption ES buyers. Sweep ES sellers.
Give it another minute until that range is formed, but we could literally just do this.
Sweep ES buyers. Absorption ES sellers.
Perfect. It's already all marked out, and now we just wait. And all those algos are gone.
Absorption ES sellers. Sweep ES buyers.
Look, price is so neutral. Buyer, seller absorption, seller, buyer absorption, 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 absorption. Okay, so we have our 15-minute range completed. We tap back into that first 5-minute fair value gap, and then we wanted to go down. Just a lot of orders being put in actually right now. So that's what we're seeing here. Order, order, iceberg, iceberg. Or either being put in or being activated when we touch down to that price. So let's take a look at what this looks like on the 15. So look, we could inverse a 5, a 15-minute, a 1. We could inverse them all basically at the same time. All right, we're coming down for that. Let's
Stop
watch.
and Q sell. Iceberg and Q buy.
So it's coming up to, we gotta wait another 4 minutes for this.
Iceberg and Q buy.
Okay, inversing. I'm gonna sell one more.
Iceberg and Q buy. Stop ES sell.
Okay, ES is inversing it now, and this is where we'll take our position once we retest.
Stop ES sell.
Unless we're just gonna go for the data in 1 second.
Stop and Q sell.
So good. We'll take our full take profit once either one of these hits. Okay, this is not a level. My broker always does this. There we go. Okay, once we hit this level of liquidity on either one, I'm gonna sell it. So we close below. However, we're waiting for a retest.
Absorption and Q sellers.
And if we don't retest them, we've got all of these sweeps here to take us on our next IF Fiji. So it's more of me talking to myself, because I do have a tendency to get FOMO when I miss my setup. Shit like this can happen, and I don't care. It's not my setup. But if I miss my setup, then I'm like, oh my God, Samaya. And I think that comes down to perfectionism. Okay, so we inversed it. Now we just wait for our tap into. I don't think this was considered a data wick. It wasn't. Like, this is a data wick. And I'll show you guys where I get my, this is where I get my information on the liquidity pools. All right, okay, we're coming up, we're coming up. Oh, come on, so I make sure everything's good. Okay, so close to tapping into it. Okay, now we're tapping into that 5. But how big do we want our stop loss to be? Okay, let's wait for the 5 minute to actually close.
Stop ES buy.
We've got 40 seconds.
Absorption and Q buyers.
Okay, so we close below on the 3 minute. And we close below on the 2 minutes. So let's just see. 3 minute, now 3 minute, we're tapping in. So the higher it comes up, the better risk to reward we get. So let's take a look at this on the 3 minute. Close below pretty nicely. 5 minute just printed. Oh, you cunt. Damn it. I wish I could remove that. That happens too many times. Oh, here, let's take this away. You fucking asshole. All right. So we're watching the 3-minute. I don't want to get too excited. It's the 5-minute didn't, but we did the 3-minute. So we really could come down for this. Okay, we're gonna send. Let's just see. And we have VWAP really to help push us down. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, okay. So pretty high here for the close above, but let's just see what happens. I don't think we did we take that data wick and now we're gonna create an inverse and then we're gonna go up. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong inverse. Maybe we're gonna inverse this. But Dodgy says data has to have a huge wick for it to be considered liquidity. He's actually free on YouTube right now. Let's give him a check out.
We're just going to do a hypothetical scenario here. Right?
Oh, look, he's taking this one.
We're just going to pretend like this doesn't exist. There's no data low here. So pretend there's no data low here. With no data low here, this is an A setup. I'd go break even here, okay? And it's a good setup because we swept all these lows. We swept this data low at 830, and the indicator alerted it, and there's a nice break even. Right? That's without these data lows here. Does everyone new understand here? So this is a relatively pretty good long. Subjectively, I don't really want to take it just because there is a data low here, but if there wasn't, I'd totally be in this right now.
Oh, okay.
Type 1 if that makes sense.
So
yeah,
now
it's very
we're
high
in a pretty big
probability there's
stop
no data
loss.
low here, I agree.
If we inverse this,
Again, this is like a
I will get
eval
out.
trade. So like, you know, I might take this as my Apex accounts or something. My fundeds, but I don't really care about them, so.
yeah, look, we
What
did
does
the 1
history
minute
want?
here.
It just means how many it shows. So. Do I get thrown off possible trades when I see S&Ps at the break-even points? No. My break-even is different from the indicator. Why is that? Because, dude, I don't want to give everything away I do in the indicator. That'd just be against whatever. Does semen retention help me concentrate on my trades?
Oh my god.
I would say no. I don't know. That's actually like a good study. I know like some people might think that's funny, but it's a good study.
Okay, so let's make sure we don't close above this.
I think that's a very valid question. I mean, I would say probably not, but how much on average do I make from trading alone per month? Like 69K. Check
Stop
gold.
and Q
Okay.
sell.
The Bitcoin trade would have been a break even. That was actually invalid. Never mind. Gold. Okay. I'm going. Gold.
So what do we do here?
What about it? Okay, there is a very good long on gold here. I'll give you that.
Very good
I do
one.
like this long on gold. We swept this low.
Oh, gold.
I bet you the indicator will probably alert this one. I'll get off gold in a second. I just had to do this. Swing.
So look, you could have taken this one here to this high.
All right, back to NQ.
What did we inverse?
Overall bias on gold is short.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's too choppy for me to tell. Also, I'm not like in tune with gold bar right now, so. How do we get more info on my mentorship? You have to book a call. So again, this is just gonna be paper trade, okay? I'm gonna get in this as like an example to show you how I'd execute this, all right, just for new people. So I'd basically have an entry around here, right? And then
We're
I'd
going the
move my
opposite
stop
way.
break even once we hit here. Now, in this situation, what I will do is, because we just formed a new swing high here,
I
I'm
wonder
actually
why
gonna
he didn't
lower
take
my
that
break
one.
even point to here because my entry is still, good enough, right? How do we know what's valid or not? You have to learn my model, bro.
I am learning your model.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened?
Okay, look, we could inverse this on the
Yo,
5 minute too.
oops. Hello, is that better? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the Russians are attacking.
Oh,
That's
now we
fine.
have orders filling there.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. My break even, I back tested my break evens, and my break evens saved me more than usual. So.
Absorption ES sellers.
Why am I so nonchalant? I don't know. Word to learn. If you guys want to learn, go to my YouTube, go to my strategy playlist, and yeah, that's basically it.
So we're still within that fair
I
value.
didn't take this
huge
long,
one.
Lucas. This is not a good long. We have data low below. I'm just hypothetically saying if we didn't have this, this would be a good long. I'm teaching newer people. Here's the thing. If you're going to be in my streams and there's going to be zero plays, I need to show you what a potential play would look like if we have something else. So all my plays are based off conditions. So this is a good play if this data low did not exist. Right? Does that make sense? So if this data low did not exist, this is a good play. And if we're not going to get any plays in here, you need to understand that for the future because I'm teaching you how to fish. Does that make sense, everyone? Type 1 if that makes sense. So even though this isn't valid for, how I trade, you still need to understand where in other scenarios, this will be valid if this does not exist. And and I'm truly trying to teach you guys how to fish, not follow my signals.
So this one inverses.
Guac, I don't think so.
Then I'm gonna get out. I'll hit the button. If we don't inverse, I would say we are still pretty good in this to go down to that data wick.
Sure. Again, I know there's gonna be someone new here thinking like, oh, this is like if this is a winning play, they're gonna be like, oh, let's go, thanks for the banger. But this is never a play I take because we've data lows below. I already said 50 times I'm not trading between the data lows and data highs. So if you're new, please understand that. I'm just gonna show you how I would either stop out or move my stop break even in a theoretical play like this. But I'm not taking any actual plays unless we sweep either one the data high or one the data low or two the data high.
Okay, so he's waiting for the sweep of it. So I got
Rate the 2 minute short. It looks good, but we're still in between the data high and data low, so nothing I take. Yeah, 2 minute short is good, but it's still between a data high and data low. It's the same thing as a long. It's still nothing I take because I don't know what's going to hit first. I'm not trying to predict what's going to hit first. I wait for one of these to be swept. And while we wait, I'm going to educate you on